We've all seen how the games are played and the dire consequences each one of them carries for the losers. However, we never understood how they were actually filmed. So let's explore it together. Red light, green light. The reality behind a giant doll. When it comes to red light, green light, one of the most iconic games in Squid Game, many fans might assume that the massive creepy doll was CGI. But surprisingly, it was 100% real. Just look at this giant creepy doll. It's terrifying to look at. I would be scared to move if I was there, to be honest. The actors performed their scenes while facing the doll in person, which added a whole new level of realism to their reactions. However, while the doll itself was practical, the background of the set wasn't. The production used blue walls to create the illusion of towering enclosures using CGI. Since constructing massive walls by hand would have been really impractical, they were digitally added in post-production. Honestly, that was kinda smart if you think about it. We also got a behind-the-scenes look at how Player 188's elimination was filmed. In the show, she was unable to stay completely still due to fear, causing her arms to tremble just enough for the doll to detect movement. The behind-the-scenes footage reveals how this sequence was carefully choreographed, while the actress's performance, playing a major role, is selling the intensity of the moment. Additionally, the island shots where the game takes place? Completely fake. The production team filmed real aerial footage of an island, but everything related to the game arena was created with CGI. Even the gigantic prize container, which has been a central visual element since Season 1, was completely digital. I really thought that the piggy bank was real, and I didn't think they would CGI something so small. The island being CGI, I understand. Props to the production team. They really did an amazing job. Next, one of the many suspenseful moments in Season 1 involves the policeman, aka Jung-ho, uncovering a clue about the Squid Games and scaling a building on a rainy night. But as thrilling as it looks on screen, there was no way the main actor was risking his life for this stunt. Instead, a trained stunt double stepped in to handle the dangerous climb. I mean, what are stunt doubles for, right? To ensure both realism and safety, the stunt double was equipped with hidden safety ropes attached to his back. These ropes provided the necessary support, allowing him to move smoothly and make the climb look effortless while actually being secured the entire time. Every step, grip, and motion was carefully choreographed to create tension without putting the performer in actual danger. The entire climbing sequence was shot using the stunt double, capturing the high-intensity moment from multiple angles. But once he reached the window, the production team made a seamless swap, replacing the double with the main actor for the close-up shots. This clever transition helped maintain continuity, making it appear as though the main character had scaled the entire building himself. The illusion of the Squid Game complex. However, it gets even crazier when we see the players walking in formation inside the Squid Game building. It looks like they're navigating an enormous multi-level structure stretching high into the air, right? Behind-the-scenes footage reveals a clever trick. The floors were actually covered in blue screens. This allowed the production team to digitally extend the set, making it seem like a towering labyrinth without the dangers and costs of constructing an actual massive structure. I mean, isn't today's Hollywood production like 50% covered in blue screens? Fact check me in the comments below. Other behind-the-scenes clips confirm that many of these seemingly high-altitude sequences were actually filmed at ground level. By using CGI, the team was able to create an illusion of depth and height, making the building appear far more vast and intimidating than it really was. This approach not only kept the cast and crew safe from dangerous heights, but also gave the creators more flexibility to design intricate, larger-than-life environments without real-world limitations. Not to be that guy again, but I really thought this was real too. I really didn't pay attention to how the Squid Game building/hall massive was. Next, in episode 5, one of the more intense moments comes when a North Korean woman finds herself in a brutal confrontation with her fellow guards. This fight sequence is fast, violent, and high stakes. But as with most dangerous scenes, the actress wasn't the one executing all the high-impact stunts. Instead, a professional stunt double stepped in to handle the riskiest movements, ensuring both safety and precision in the action. Oh my god, why are these actors scared of a little adrenaline boost? Come on, do your own stunts. I'm joking, guys, relax. These scenes are really difficult to do. Not all regular actors can do them. But what's really cool is how different the fight looks in the raw behind-the-scenes footage compared to the final cut. During filming, the stunt performers moved at a much slower pace than what we see in the finished scene. This is a common technique in action filmmaking. Choreographed fights are performed carefully to prevent injuries, and later the footage is sped up in post-production with added sound effects and camera cuts to enhance the intensity. A closer frame-by-frame look at the scene also reveals a clever editing cutting trick. When the character is knocked to the ground, the person we see hitting the floor is actually the stunt double, not the actress. To keep this seamless, the double quickly covers their face with their arms, ensuring that their identity remains hidden before the shot transitions to a close-up of the actress for the next moment. We also got a look at the behind-the-scenes photo of the actress resting after filming, with realistic fake blood streaked across her cheek from the knife wound her character suffers in the scene. Interestingly, during breaks, she was given a pillow to rest her head on, something we never see in the show but highlights the level of care taken to keep actors comfortable between takes. A behind-the-scenes image was also released showing Min-soo playing Gonji during the pentathlon. However, this particular shot was never seen in the final cut of Season 2. While we do get a quick glimpse of Min-soo being scolded for failing at the game, we never actually see a full shot of him playing. This suggests that the scene was either shortened or cut entirely during editing. I feel so bad for the actor, man. Imagine you're sitting at home and you tell your friends and family watching the show with you, look, this is my special moment, and what? The scene was deleted? Oh man. I mean, cheer up, little bro. At least you were in the Squid Games. We have another behind-the-scenes photo from Red Light Green Light that reveals a small but fascinating production secret. In that one intense moment, Ji-hoon and player 120 attempt to save a fallen player, only for him to be shot before they can help. It's a devastating scene, but what we didn't see in the final cut is the small but thoughtful precaution taken to keep the actor safe. Behind the scenes, the actor portraying the fallen player was given a protective blanket to lie on. Since the scene was filmed outdoors in direct sunlight, the ground could have become unbearably hot, posing a risk of burns or discomfort. The blanket ensured that the actor could remain in position for multiple takes without any physical strain. That's very thoughtful and nice. Props to the guys who thought of this, treating every actor equally, even the side-dying character ones. What's even more impressive is that in the final version of the scene, the blanket is completely gone, meaning the production team either removed it in post-production or carefully framed the shots to keep it hidden. Next up, one of the most intense action sequences in episode 7 features Ji-hoon and his friends pulling off a risky ambush by pretending to be dead before launching a surprise attack on the guards. But as chaotic as the battle looks on screen, the behind-the-scenes footage shows that every moment was meticulously planned and rehearsed by the show's stunt choreographers. During rehearsals, the stunt team went through each step of the fight in a controlled environment, ensuring that the action looked realistic while keeping the performers safe. Every punch, tackle, and reaction was carefully timed to create a seamless, high-energy battle that would translate well on screen. One of the more interesting details from the rehearsal footage is that all the performers, including those playing guards, are seen wearing green player uniforms. I thought they were on the same team. Jokes aside, since there's never a moment in the show where players fight each other, this likely means that the stunt team simply didn't have pink guard uniforms available during practice sessions. It's a small but funny detail that highlights the practical challenges of preparing for such a large-scale fight scene. Thanks to this extensive choreography and planning, the final version of the battle turned out to be one of the most memorable action sequences in Squid Game Season 2. Now, this is for all of you simps out there. Here's the guy who was the star of the beginning of Season 2. We can see the bread-giving scene was actually filmed outside. Thank God. I thought, what if this was CGI too? I'm losing my mind. Am I the only one imagining how awkward it is recording these scenes where he was stepping on bread? Like, bro, it's okay, we got it, you're extreme. Speaking of extremes, we see the behind the scenes of the Russian roulette / rock paper scissors scene, as well as the Russian roulette scene with our main character or boy Ji-hoon. And don't worry guys, the recruiter isn't some psycho in real life. Look at him having fun with his co-stars. I mean, that just shows off that he's an amazing actor. Also, we can even see the director being really involved in these shots. You can tell that he's fully dedicated to the show. I mean, it paid off, right? Also, watching this whole thing behind the scenes seems so strange. In a positive way, obviously. Now, you're probably wondering, since we talked so much about CGI in this video, that every game has CGI in it, right? And how nothing is custom built. I mean, yes, it does have CGI somewhere, like in Red Light Green Light. We see the walls being blue for the CGI later to be added, but that's not the case with the second game. Let's just forget about everything being CGI and take a look at how they build the stage for the second game. We can see them literally building it from scratch. Look at this somewhat smooth transition. Notice all the details too? None of that is CGI. Everything is custom built, which you could feel when looking into the actual episode. The whole arena just felt special. Well, for me at least. And look at the flags too. Comment down below if your country was mentioned in Squid Game. As we can see the workers adding the final touches or cleaning the place, I honestly don't know, for the players/actors to come in. A very cool shot. Okay, they're definitely cleaning here. But we also see some cool shots of the players gathered and later tied up to play the six-legged marathon. And this isn't CGI as well. Sorry, I just have to mention not CGI stuff at this point, since there are so many. We also see the players actually playing the game behind the scenes, which is also super cool. Even some off-screen practice. And the director attempting the Jeji game? Even more cool. I told you guys that he's dedicated to the show. And if you ever wondered what happens with the blood after the games, well, here's the answer to that question. And speaking earlier of everything not being CGI, know what also isn't CGI and fully custom-made? The third game, Mingle. Look at this transaction build. I bet you never saw it from the outside. And honestly, it looks very good considering that they only paid attention to the interior. And here are probably the two fan-favorite characters, Thanos and the frontman. Yeah, Player 124 was there too. I'm joking, of course. Player 124 is a fan-favorite too. Not really. We see these three actors performing the mini-fight between the frontman versus Thanos in Player 124. Over here, we get a more realistic look at the scene. We get to see different angles of filming and the actors performing. And we got to see the actor who plays the frontman, Lee Byung-hun, explaining how to do the scene to his colleague. Very cool and very thoughtful. The frontman is my favorite character in the show, and now Lee Byung-hun might just become my favorite actor as well. We also get to see the cast also working with the director in these shots, as well off and on set. Just look at them laughing. They're having so much fun. I'm jealous. I wish I was in the Squid Games. Not in real life though.